Alright, I got some smallish type little bifaces, and I was thinking about what can I make out of these little bifaces, and I was looking through my book that I won't mention, and I was thinking, you know, I can make sand Patrice points. Yeah, they look kind of cool, so that's what I'll do. I got a bunch of these little, well, this is not too short. I have a bunch of these little bifaces, so I can make a sand Patrice point. They're relatively short, stubby, and not too difficult. And I bet you a lot of the new guys don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Google it really fast. I know you're at work and stuff, but Google it really fast. You know, it's Friday. You can goof off a little bit if you're still at work. If you're wondering what you can make, it's not too difficult, relatively speaking. This one seems like it's okay, chert. Okay, not Oklahoma chert. Chert that naps okay. Although I do have Oklahoma chert in my storage unit, just not here with me. The only stuff I have with me here is the stuff I got at the Knapping. And maybe a few flakes that I brought, because I always try to carry some flakes just as a standard procedure. Ooh, this is not easy. This piece is not easy to nap. No. But the ones that are not fun are the ones that are good for videos. Right? Right. This is tough. The ones that are not cooperative are good for videos, because you get to beat the living daylights out of them. Yeah. And you get to show people that you need a lot of force for these. Yeah. Lots and lots of force. That's why you haven't been able to make any points out of this kind of stuff. You don't understand the amount of force required, and you don't understand the potential of indirect percussion with full follow-through. I don't have a pad here. I don't have this on a pad that I nap on like this. I don't nap on a pad like this. You can do little flakes like this with any method you want. I like the full follow-through all the way through, with as much force as you can possibly generate without worrying about hurting yourself. And yeah, I've used every ounce of strength I have on some pieces of rock and still couldn't nap the rock. That's how tough it was. But there's no way I could do that on a pad. There's no way I can hit this like this with as much physical strength as I can possibly muster without hurting myself, no matter how thick that pad is. You know, because I'll use a solid steel billet or mallet sometimes. And yes, I've used a 1-inch diameter solid steel mallet to hit like a 3/8-inch steel rod, just to power through some of this stuff, especially like rhyolite or similar type stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes I need to really, really strike hard. Like right there, I need a full follow through. Can't have any padding. All right? All right. Enough of that. I just want to make that clear. There's a reason. It's not just a novelty. It's not just another way of doing the indirect percussion. It's a way to deliver a tremendous amount of force. And it is useful with natural materials as well. Although I have broken antlers doing it. Yeah. Cracked and snapped off antlers with this method. I had to have full follow through. Full follow through. Nothing stopping either the flaker or the mallet. Nothing stopping it. Except the workpiece. There. See, I hit that extremely hard. I need to hit it even harder. And if I have a pad, I'm not going to be able to do it. All right? All right. Have I talked smack enough about the pads? Yes? I don't use pads. I don't use them for a reason. Not because they don't work. Because they do work for a lot of points. But it's not versatile enough for me. Especially when someone comes up to me and says, "Can you try napping this?" Sure. I'll try napping it. And I'll tell them, yeah, this stuff is requiring me to hit it so hard that all of its relatives and its ancestors and future children can feel these vibes. Yep. Oh, yeah. Rocks don't have no children's and ancestors. Yeah, I know. But you get what I mean? You get what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm talking about hitting hard. Yep. That's why I use steel. I have to keep saying that because whenever I go to a nap-in, I get at least one person, usually 2 or 3, going, "Man, you're hitting that a lot harder than I thought you were hitting that in the videos." Yeah. I know you think that because I heard it many times. Yep. I don't say that in the nap-in, but I just go, "Yep, yep." I'm very non-impressive at the nap-ins. Yeah. I don't crack a lot of jokes. I don't do a lot of socializing. I just hunker down and do the napping. Yep, that's it. Pretty much. The only thing good about having me at a nap-in is you can dump all your bad stuff and I'll try to nap it. You can just put all the bad rock you want in front of me and I'll try napping it. Sometimes I say, "No, this is just way too difficult to nap." And you'll go, "Really?" Yeah, it's just way too difficult. It's not going to be any fun. It's also going to disappoint you tremendously in the final stages because you won't be able to thin it down. Even though you managed to run some nice flakes, you think that the maximum length of flake becomes the minimum standard length from there on in. See that length of that flake? Some people in their minds will go, "Okay, well, let's see every single flake from now on be that long. If it's not, that means you're dumb." Yeah. That's what they're thinking. Why can't you get long flakes anymore? Why did you do that? See that right there? If you're not getting that flake, you're dumb. They don't know. They don't know. You know, you can't blame them for not knowing. But sometimes it's really, really hard to nap stuff, and I don't nap it. I go, "No, I think this stuff is good for landscaping. It'll be beautiful in the lawn, but not on the end of a stick." No. No. Not worth it. You can find better stuff. You can find better stuff at Lowe's. It's called floor tile. Porcelain floor tile. Lowe's, Home Depot, hardware stores, tile stores, junkyards, not junkyards, but trash bins at construction sites or remodeling sites. Remodeling something and they throw out all the old tile. If it's porcelain tile, you can just grab a bunch of it. Try Knap it for free. Floor tile, porcelain floor tile, high quality stuff. Is about mid-range, about a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. As far as nappability. Yeah, this stuff here, some of it naps a lot worse than floor tile, some of it naps a lot better. Yeah. It's inconsistent. Some of the hardest stuff to nap. The inconsistent stuff, because it doesn't look pretty when you're done. Not only is it not cooperative as far as flaking, it doesn't look that pretty when you're done. Because you'll have steps or step fractures or weird things going on. And some might say you just need to grind it more. Just need to put in better platforms. Yeah. You're just excusing yourself for not doing the proper stuff ahead of time to get ready for those flakes. Yada, yada, yada. Part of that is true. Part of that is true because preparation is very important for the running of flakes. Yeah. It is important. But it's not the only thing. Your method has to impart the proper amount of force. And if it requires a tremendous amount of force and you don't have a technique to do it, you're out of luck. All your flakes are going to be like that. All of them. Because you don't have enough power to drive it through some of those bad areas. Yeah, that's on a high quality piece of chert. That would have overshot so bad that give you whiplash. Oh yeah. Man, I overshot that one so bad. I almost broke my neck looking at that flake. Yeah, I'm just being silly. That's one thing you got to watch out for with a lot of force, is the overshots. And the only reason why you use a lot of force is to make these things thin, right? Otherwise, you don't need a whole lot of force. But you got to try to make them thin. Everyone wants to make the worst material as thin as possible. Yeah. They think with all the right techniques, there's no excuse. You should be able to take the worst material possible and make a very thin point out of it. If you don't, you're dumb, because it's just all in technique. Yeah, that's what they think. It's not so simple. Not so simple. There's different consistencies in the rock. There's a lot of luck involved when it gets down to thinning, because you never know. You never know about internal issues in the rock. You never know how your brain is going to react at that particular moment. You know, you might remember that you got something on the stove. You go, oh dang, and then you're gonna mess yourself up because it's, oh yeah, I gotta go get that pizza out of the oven, man. Dang it, it's been in there. Probably the ringer's going off. I've been napping, trying to get out a step fracture, and then I messed it up thinking about my pizza. Yep, state of mind is important when flint napping. That's why I try to rest. The old formula of working hard to get it done, make it happen, doesn't work in flint napping. It does not work because of the risk. The risk factor, it increases as you get fatigued. It also increases as you get cocky. Yeah, you think you got your attitude all straightened out. I'm going to work until I drop. It's not going to defeat me. I'm going to put in the hours. I'm going to keep working and working and working. And the more hours I put in, the luckier I get. Then you end up with a whole big, gigantic pile of nothing but gravel. And you're wondering what happened. Yeah, because it just doesn't work with something like this. There's risk involved. Got to manage the risk. Just can't power through it. I'm not saying that practice is not going to get you there, because that's what will get you there. Practice will get you there. But the attitude of making it happen, just going and assault with a frontal assault, frontal attack, just charge into it. Hour after hour after hour, just charging. It'll get it done. No. How do I know? Take a guess. It doesn't happen because it doesn't work because I've tried that. The only time that it's advantageous to do that is when you don't know that it can happen. You need to get it out of your system. You need to put in like 12 hours straight napping, nothing but napping, breaking all the rock you've got. Go through your whole stash and get nothing but rubble, 800 pounds of rubble. You need to get that out of your system so you know that at the end of the day, after you've turned all that rock into rubble, you'll go, yeah, this particular method don't work. Yeah, he was right about that. In fact, I learned bad habits when I was doing it. Now I got to unlearn all those bad habits. Yeah. What bad habits do you learn when you just smash through a bunch of rock? Your muscle memory is going to be tuned to the frontal attack. I just watched the World War I movie. Frontal attacks against trenches. Entrenched enemy. That's what it's like to attack a non-cooperative piece of rock. It's a stalemate. You're not going to get anywhere. In fact, you're going to learn bad habits. The bad habits is you don't attack with a frontal attack on entrenched positions. Unless you got some kind of protection like armor. You know? armor in the form of mechanized armor or body armor. Some kind of something to protect yourself, or a smoke screen or something. All right. So what is the equivalent of a smoke screen or a mechanized armored vehicle when it comes to flint knapping? It's called, well, the only thing we got is tools, right? The only thing that's equivalent to that is your tools. What tools are you using? If all you got is boppers, boppers are really good at making rubble. But some guys that get extremely good at using boppers, they can thin down anything with a bopper. But those guys, they've gone through hundreds and hundreds of pounds of material. When, in my opinion, you didn't need to have to go through all that. Yeah, I mean, you can overcome trenches by a frontal assault. Like in World War I, you got enough guys and you're willing to sacrifice enough people, you can take the trenches with a frontal assault. But it requires an enormous amount of resources. So if you've got indirect percussion tools that can focus the energy, target the rough spots, do a strategy that attacks the rough spots first, and learn to live with the mistakes. Be a little flexible. You can learn to flint knap quicker with less waste. All right, the San Patrice does not have a really pointy point, right? So I'm going to take down that point. On purpose. Oh, yes. I mean, some of the San Patrice points have nice, sort of nice points on them, but not all. Most of them I've seen have, they've got, maybe some of them have needle tips, but they're short and kind of stubby. They're not like long and tapered. It's short. They might have a needle tip at the very tip, but they're short. All right. I think I've said that enough times. All right, what am I doing here? I got to do another pass to thin down these bulky spots. All right, this is the hard part. This is the hard part because I don't know if I can get it thin. I don't know. It's dicey. I may or may not be able to thin this down. This material is so hard. Okay. I should say tough. This material is so tough. Because all rock is pretty hard, yeah. But some rock is easy to knap. This is not bad in these nice areas. But if there's any concrete up ahead, I gotta blast through it and make sure that the edge is thick enough to support a massive strike. Massive strike. I think it did it. Yep. I don't know if that was the right orientation. I wouldn't want to be the guy refitting all these flakes in an archaeological laboratory. Yeah, that's a tedious job there. I have a hard time, and I'm the one napping this. I have a hard time refitting the flakes, and I'm the one that's napping it. Yeah, I can't imagine looking for the flakes at the archaeological site and then trying to fit them all together again. That little song, "Oh no no, oh no no no," comes to mind when you're looking at a table full of flakes. You know that little song they always play on Instagram when someone's about to crash into something on their bicycle or fall through thin ice or stepping on a ladder the wrong way. They're gonna fall. Yeah. All right, so do I mess with it more? Do I mess with it more than that, or should I just go for the final shape? It's always the decision, isn't it? Yeah, I can't remember if Sam Patrice is well thinned. I don't know. I can't remember. I just looked it up just a little while ago. But I don't think I looked at the way it was shaped from the side. There's no side views in the drawings that I'm looking at, but there's some on the internet, maybe. I try to get a side view whenever I can so I can see what the thickness looks like. Some of these points are kind of thick near the tip, some of them aren't. You know, these styles. Some of them are really, really well tapered. Some of them are kind of wonky. Some have edges that are curved. But you can't see that unless you're looking at it from the side. I'm going to take a risk and try to blow a flake into that concrete to see if I can thin it down and get rid of that lump a little bit. I think. I only got 3 minutes left. Oh, I don't know. I can tag it on to the end of the video. If I go over my time limit, I'll just tag it on. My video editing app is pretty good. The other day I filmed a video that was in the vertical instead of the horizontal, and I didn't even notice. And I was able to correct it easily in my video editing app on my phone. I used to have a hard time reorienting the videos if I had not filmed it in the horizontal. You know, the simple operation of flipping the video from vertical to horizontal took up tons of memory and lots of time, and sometimes the audio would be off and all kinds of weird stuff would happen. But this time it worked well. I was happy. Can't remember which video it was. That's how well it worked. It didn't stick in my brain like a traumatic experience. Traumatic. It wasn't a traumatic experience. Thanks to technology. Ooch, I don't know. I want a thin tip for the video. I was saying before, I don't want to do stuff just for the video. But how can I get around it? How can I not do it just for the video? It's so tempting just to do stuff for the video or do stuff exclusively for purposes of videoing. Yeah. Just so I can mess up and repair it. No, I didn't do it on purpose so I could mess up and repair it. But that solved that problem, you know. I solved the problem of having a pointy point. What do I do in that case? I'll make it look like it was resharpened. Yeah. I didn't like that point anyway. Every time I tried to thin it down, it remained thick. Alright, so we'll finish it off on the next segment.